Well, welcome to the first Message Church of 2021. Maybe not the new year we were hoping for, but let's hope that during this year we can still have fun either online or hopefully later on this year back in person. Something to be really looking forward to. Today we're thinking about one of my favourite people you meet in the Bible, and his name is Joshua. And he had a great battle on his hands, but we'll learn more about that later. He had to choose faith over fear. In my house, I've got a little thing that sits on my mantelpiece that says, faith is taking the first step when you don't see the whole staircase. And I don't know about you, but this year feels a bit like that to me. But anyway, let's get on and let's do some singing and dancing and enjoy these songs.
Hey! Go! Nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too little, little for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too really, really for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too incy, wincy for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too teeny, teeny for his care. He is God of the big, God of the little, God of the stuff, somewhere in the middle. The King of moving mountains loves you more than you will ever know. Oh, nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too little, little for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too really, really for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too incy, wincy for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too teeny, weeny for his care. He is God of the big, God of the little, God of the stuff, somewhere in the middle. The King of moving mountains loves you more than you will ever know. Oh, nothing's too big, nothing's too small, nothing's too much. He cares for all. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small, nothing's too much. He cares for all. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small, nothing's too much. He cares for all. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small, nothing's too much. He cares for all. He is God of the big, God of the little, God of the stuff, somewhere in the middle. The King of moving mountains loves you more than you will ever know. Oh, hey, whoa, hey, whoa. I'm gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. I'm gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna sing my praise to heaven. I'm gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. I'm gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna sing my praise to heaven. I will run this race and I will never stop. I follow Jesus till the day I drop. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When you've got such a lot, when you've got not a lot, what? Be happy. I'm gonna jump up and down, gonna spin around. gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. I'm gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. I'm gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. I'll run this race and I will never stop. I follow Jesus till the day I drop. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When you've got such a lot, when you got not a lot, what? Be happy. Such a lot, when you got not a lot, what? Be happy.
God's story, Joshua and the Battle of Jericho. So part of God's story is about a guy named Joshua, and it goes like this. 40 years after God led his family out of Egypt and through the desert, he chose Joshua to lead them to an amazing home he had promised them called Canaan. Now, Canaan wasn't their home yet. Not really. See, people lived there already, in a big city called Jericho. They had heard how God parted the Red Sea and rained down food from heaven for his family. They had heard how God had led his family with a cloud during the day and a pillar of fire at night. And they realized that if God wanted his family to move into Canaan, he would do something remarkable to get them there. So they were ready for an epic fight. In the past, that had really scared God's family. But here's the thing. God knew Jericho looked scary for his family. So when it was time to go, he reminded Joshua that he was in control. God said, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Joshua might have felt afraid, but he chose to be strong and courageous. Have you ever done something you know is right, even though you were scared? Anyway, for a while, God's family camped out, waiting to go in, wondering how to get through Jericho's walls. Then one night, Joshua looked up and saw a man standing in front of him. He was holding a sword and looked ready for battle, but Joshua didn't recognize him. He asked, "Are you on our side or our enemy's side?" The man said, "Neither. I'm on the Lord's side." At that moment, Joshua realized that it was God appearing as a soldier. He fell on his face and worshiped him. God was definitely with them and would lead the Israelites into Jericho. Well, after that, God told Joshua how to get through Jericho's walls. Here's what he told Joshua to do. March around the city once every day for 6 days. Have 7 priests get trumpets made out of ram's horns and carry them. On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times. The priests should blow the trumpets during the march. When they blow a long blast, all the men should shout. Then the walls will fall. Joshua might have wondered how walking and yelling would make walls fall, but he didn't question God. He trusted God, so he obeyed. And guess what? At the last trumpet blast, the walls fell, just like God said they would. God promised not to leave his family, and he didn't. He helped them get through an impossible wall and move into their new and beautiful home. And through Joshua, God would continue to help his family. In fact, Joshua finally became so sure of God's power that he was able to help others to be strong and courageous, just like God had helped him. And that's the story of Joshua. But you want to know the best part? God appeared as a man to show Joshua that he would fight for his family and bring them safely to their new home. Joshua had nothing to fear. And later, Jesus came to earth as a man to fight for us by taking our punishment for sin so that one day we can live with him in a perfect new home, which means we have nothing to fear. Like Joshua, we can be strong and courageous. And that's a part of God's story.
We're going to have a bit of a guessing game now. There's going to be some words, sometimes very long words, and they're all a big word for people who are frightened of something. And you're going to see if you can guess what they might be frightened of. Let's see how you get on. So how did you do? Some of them I found quite funny, although for some people those fears are really real. And that got me thinking about things that I may be fearful about. And let's face it, at the moment there's quite a few things that we can be worried about or fearful about. Joshua had that big wall, a big city. That was a very real fear. Other places in the Bible, a guy called David talks about with God on his side, he can scale a wall. That means climb it really quickly. God had a message for Joshua, and his message was, be bold, be strong, because I am with you always. Be bold, be strong, because I, God, am with you always. Joshua could remember times when God had helped him in the past, and I guess that helped him with this big city that was in front of him and this big fear of the people that lived there. And I think that's good for us as well. Maybe we've asked God to help us in the past and He's been there for us, and we can remember that. And remembering that makes us stronger for the next time. Or maybe you'll never talk to God about the things that you're frightened about. It doesn't matter if it's our first step or our 100th step of asking God to be with us. The message is the same. Be bold, be strong, because God is with you. God is with me. I've got some dominoes here. I wonder if each one of these was something that we're a bit frightened for, something we're worried about. Look what can happen when we give our worries to God. Here goes. God sometimes doesn't take away the situation, but He is there when we're worried about something, and He will help us. Just like Joshua, we can know that we can be bold, be strong, because the God is the same God who looked after Joshua promises to look after us as well.
Okay, hi everybody. Today Kate's been telling you the story of Joshua when he led the people round the walls of Jericho, and with God's help the walls fell down. Now you may remember that as they walked round they were blowing trumpets. So we're going to start today by making one of those trumpets. They probably had very simple ones which were made out of the horn of a sheep, but we're going to make our own slightly more creative one. So it starts off in your pack. You will have, so it will finish up looking like this. It has the string, and if you blow in it, it will make a little bit of a sound. You will have an empty cardboard tube, an empty coffee cup, and that's what we start with. Your coffee cup will have a hole right in the middle of the bottom. Now, you may need an adult to help you do this because you need some pointy scissors. I'm going to show you just what you need to do. So you're going to cut from the circle to the edge, from the middle of the circle to the edge, and then you're going to do the same on the opposite side. So we're cutting it in half, then do it so that it's cutting into quarters, and then, so there we are, so we've got 4 quarters showing. Then we're going to cut each of those in half and make it into 8 pieces, and I'll do that very quickly and show you very quickly. Now, if you need to check with an adult which scissors you can use, or if they need to do that for you. Once you've done that, you will, if you push them, it opens up that hole in the middle. Then if you get your tube and put a little bit of Pritt stick on the end of the tube, all the way round there, and then push that into your cup, and it will, once it's in, you can just touch the pieces if you want, make sure they're sticking with your fingers, but it will stay in place once the glue dries. So there's the basic shape for your trumpet. Right, to move on very quickly, I decorate, looks like I cheated because the only cup I had at home was a patterned one, but this gives you more room to decorate. So we're starting off 3 strips of paper which you will find in your pack. Put some glue on. If you put one at the bottom, one at the top and one in the middle, and overlap them. So I'm just going to wrap that on very quickly. So there's the first one. Now, these can be decorated. I'll show you mine. I'm not going to do that now. That's the last one. So you've got 3 stripes going across. You can decorate it any way you want. This is just the one I'm showing you. Right, on mine, I put a yellow strip round the bottom one. I put some yellow circles on the middle and a yellow and then another blue strip on the top. Do it any way you want. But there will be 2 colours of paper in your pack. So I've got blue and yellow, you will have 2. Now, you need a string. So I'm going to cut a piece of this string. The piece in your pack will be the right length. And then, using sellotape, we're going to stick it just under the first blue band, and then the other end sticks inside the bottom of the tube. So we'll do that, put the sellotape on and stick it just inside your tube there, and that's supposed to be the handle. It's not very strong, but it is the handle of your trumpet. Lastly, I didn't want these on mine at first, but a proper trumpet that you play today has little buttons that you press to play. So if you want to put those on, there will be some buttons in your pack, and you just stick them on with Pritt stick on the opposite side to the handle. If you've got young people in, if you're an adult making this for a very small child, don't put those on. Or if you're an older child and there are little people in your house, then again, don't put those on because they're not safe for little people. Lastly, you can use your strips of paper to put some patterns on the top. You can put circles, you can put some stripes going down. You can be as creative as you like, but there'll be enough paper there for you to cut some more patterns. So that's our first craft, your trumpet, to remind you, to have a bit of fun and to remind you that in the story they went round the walls of Jericho playing their trumpets. Right, the second craft is on the same theme, and it involves making this is a picture of the walls of Jericho, and we have the trumpeters on the strip of paper and they move round, and you can make them, you can use it to tell the story and make them move round as you tell the story of the trumpeters and the wall falling down. Very simple to do. I wasn't able to colour mine, but I suggest, so you will have a sheet like this in your pack. Colour the walls and the houses that you can see at the top, and you've got some palm trees at the side. If you don't like colouring, just use the side of a pencil or a crayon and gently go over and fill it in quickly. Then you've got 2 lines at the bottom here, which are the slits for the trumpeters to go through. We've done this before, easy way to cut them. Just gently fold them over and make a snip, and then you can get your scissors in to the hole and cut that way and cut that way. You don't need sharp scissors for this. And the same on the other side. Right, you will have 1 strip of trumpeters. I've got 2, I've got to join them together. But in your pack will be 1 strip, so you don't get a join. So I'll join mine together to make my 1 long strip, and that's what you will have in your pack. you thread one end in one slit, right, one end in the other. I'll hold this up and show you. So the ends have gone through the slits, and then you turn it over and glue the two ends together, which creates a circle, and then you can, once that's dry, you are then able to pull the trumpeters round. This one, you will not find the things in your bag. So for this one, you have got to ask Mum and Dad to add it to the shopping list if they can. So, one bag of marshmallows, which I'm going to open. I haven't practiced this one. And when you've got your marshmallows, you can use them to build a wall. You can do it any way you like. I haven't had a go at this before. You can build a wall that goes straight across. We are. You can build a wall that perhaps goes round. And what do you think you get to do at the end of it? Well, first of all, now, if you can persuade the adult who does your shopping to buy some jelly babies, you can use the jelly babies as the trumpeters marching round your wall. If you haven't got jelly babies, you can get any little people that you've got in your toy box, and you can have those little people, and you can use this to tell the story. So the people marched round the wall, and they played their trumpets as they marched round, and then I think my wall should be a little bit higher. There we are. Have that. Whoa, there we are, and the wall fell down. And then you get to eat them. So have fun with some marshmallows, jelly babies if you can get them, and building a wall.
So today we're going to make a shield, and we're listening today about the story of Joshua. And in Joshua 1:9 it says, "This is my command, be strong and courageous, do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." So we've got a shield of God that protects us wherever we go, and that's what we're going to make today. So you've got a shield and a piece of paper with faith and a little verse on it, a piece of newspaper and a card, and you'll need some sellotape and some scissors. So first of all, we're going to put a cross onto the shield, like so, from the top to the bottom, and from left to right as well, like so. Then we're going to get the piece of card, white piece of card that has the cross on it with faith and the verse on, and what you have to do is you have to cut that out, which I've already started to do. And you can either colour it in first, or you can cut it out and then colour it in, whichever you prefer. It might be easier to colour it in first, but whatever you want to do. So you've got your two, your verse and your cross. I'm just going to colour in the word faith, but as you can see on here, I've coloured in the word and the cross. So I'll just quickly do that. Go. So we're going to get the glue, and we're going to put glue on the back of our cross. And I'm going to stick this right down the middle towards the top. Centre it up, and that's it. And then we take the verse and we put glue on the back of the verse. And we position that at the bottom. In the middle again, like so. Okay. Then we're going to take our piece of newspaper and we're going to roll it up on the diagonal like that, nice and tight, all the way along. And get a piece of sellotape and just hold the end there like that. Okay, and there we go. Then you're going to take your piece of card and the back of the shield and put glue on the back of the, and this goes down the centre of the card, and that might take a little bit to stick, so just leave that for a moment. And the next thing we need to do is we take the rolled up newspaper. Now this is going to be the handle, so it depends how big your arm is, how big you want that to be. But you take the sellotape, put it over one end of it, make sure your arm can get through it, and then take another piece of sellotape and put it on the other end of it. Okay? And then you've got a shield to remind you that God's always with you and protecting you. So in the story of the walls of Jericho, we're going to build the walls of Jericho, and you'll have a card just like this with all the walls on it, and what we've got to do is fill in the walls with our bricks, which you'll find in a little bag or in your pack, and these are all your bricks. So you take your Pritt stick and you just put some Pritt stick on the back and you start building up the walls. So we'll start down at the door here with one, and then another, and here's one that I started on earlier, and I'll just finish that off. So you start like that, build it up, build it up, build it up, and I've still got this little bit here to do. So I'll get So there we have the walls of Jericho. And as it's said in the story, when the priests went round with their trumpets and everybody started to shout after on the seventh day, all the walls came tumbling down. And what I want you to do now is turn over your card, and on the other side we're going to have the walls when they come tumbling down. And that's all the rubble at the bottom. So just stick your pieces of bricks all over the bottom, and that's your walls tumbling down.
Thank you for joining us for Messy Church today. We do hope you've had a fantastic time. We want to let you know about the Bigger Than Big Holiday Club, which is taking place during the February half term from Monday the 15th through to Friday the 19th of February. This year it's going to be a little bit different in that it is an online holiday club. So you're going to do the holiday club from the comfort of your own home. And it's going to be both on YouTube and also on Zoom. So what we would like you to do is we would like you to sign up for this holiday club, and it's aimed at children in primary school. So please do sign up, and by signing up you will receive from us free of charge all the craft materials that you will need to do all sorts of wonderful craft activities that we will be doing during the holiday club. So please do sign up today. Kate's email address is below. So the sooner you can let us know that you want to join us, the better. And also, if you sign up, you will be given details of how to join in with the Zoom sessions as well. So please do sign up today for our Bigger Than Big Holiday Club taking place during the February half term.
Hope you've enjoyed doing the activities with us today. Look out for your home sheet and see what else you can do. Maybe you could get your dominoes and have a bit of a competition to see who can make the longest string of dominoes to knock down. Or there's the plastic cups. You've got a picture of your plastic cups and you can maybe use your trumpets. This could be noisy, so warn people, but pile up your plastic cups and march round your living room blowing your trumpets. Or what about having a game of Jenga with your family if you've got a game lying around at home? Or you could use an oblong sponge, and there's a wall in your pack, and if you want to get really messy, put paint on your oblong sponge and make that into bricks onto your bit of paper. Let's just talk to God now. Dear Father God, we thank you that we can come to you at any time and in any place. We thank you of your great love for us, and we thank you that you promise us that you'll be with us. We thank you that we can bring anything that we're worried about to you, and nothing's too little for you to be worrying about, and nothing's too big for you to solve. Amen. Goodbye. Enjoy.